You're a 168 fighter, and I know it sounds crazy, but if he were to like turn around and be like, "Hey, yeah, I'll fight David,"
yeah, I'll be dope. I have a lot of respect for Terence Crawford, and just because I want to fight, if we would fight, doesn't mean we have hard feelings for each other. He's definitely a great fighter. I would love to.
I would love to get it. I just don't think he'll come up. Well, I mean, I'm not even at 168 no more.
Right.
But I mean, I would love to fight Crawford or even spar. I would love to spar Crawford.
when you see a tweet that says, "Hey, can you make 168, David from Turkey?" Can he still make 168? You seeing him now training at second fight at 175?
Yeah, I think he's super young still. I think definitely, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
David Benavidez versus Terence Crawford 2. The next fight is what everyone wants to see. Also, guess what? Joseph Benavidez Sr. said David could lose weight to 168 pounds in order to fight Crawford.
He was, I think, referring to maybe if David could go and fight Crawford. Like, that's crazy.
To be honest, that would be even an embarrassment to me to say, David's too big for Crawford. Now we said that, I don't think, it would be a little bit hard, but I think he could definitely do 168. We didn't move to 175 because of the weight. We moved because of the opportunity.
David will face problems, but he is strong enough to handle them. He didn't step up to 175 because of the weight. It had to do with chances. When Turki Alshik comes in with that huge amount of Saudi money, though, you know how the game goes. Any fighter can find a way to put on weight.
Can you still make 168?
To be honest with you, man, let Terence Crawford live. That's his weight class. I lost interest in 168 a long, long time ago. I know that we could get offered a lot of money to go down to 168, but I'm more comfortable on 170.
Turki did tweet that David can still make 168. Because of this, don't be shocked if Crawford and Benavidez fight next year. Anything is possible when Turki is involved. It's like chess and boxing at the same time because Crawford is smart and quick on his feet, while Benavidez is very strong and fast.
You were at 168. When we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. When you look
right now, it's at 175,
he probably can't even make 168 no.
There is a lot at stake. Legacy on one side, a message that has been proven on the other, and guaranteed viewers and pay-per-view sales on the third. If the promoters get this fight, there will be a huge training camp, good weight, control, and a fight night that every fighter wants to be a part of. Do not turn off your alerts. This one might go from a story to a fact much faster than you think.
Alshik posted on social media asking if David Benavidez is still capable of making it down to 168. Now, we're not sure if this little tease that Turki made was targeted as a hint for a future fight between Crawford and Benavidez or Canelo versus Benavidez.
Just as we were getting excited about the idea of Crawford versus Benavidez happening next, Blue Blood Sports TV stepped in and gave David Benavidez a harsh reality check. He didn't hold back. He told him, "Hold on, champ. When you begged Crawford to fight Canelo, you can't call him an opportunist." He's right, too. You can't change the past because the camera missed you by a hair.
What Terence Crawford achieved is massive compared to yourself that people say technically should have been at 175. So you cannot discredit Terence Crawford and say he's an opportunist because this is the same version of Canelo Alvarez that you wanted to fight. And you would have wanted to get all the credit in the world for beating this Canelo, and you wouldn't have wanted to hear people talk about you was an opportunist and you fought a version of Canelo Alvarez that was washed up.
Benavidez called for Canelo for years, following him around like a Pokemon. After Bud's win, many people say, "Oh, that Canelo version was old." Brother, come on. Saying that after seeing someone else eat the cake is like saying you didn't want it. Also, I get it. Years ago, Benavidez should have had the fight. Politics in the WBC made him feel bad. Certainly. But throwing out Crawford right now is just an emotional decision.
So don't discredit Terence Crawford's victory. That's nasty work, bro. And you one of my guys, you know that. And shout out to your father and your brother. Don't let these people put batteries in your back for you to discredit Terrence Crawford victory. Don't let it happen, bro. We know a disservice was done to you. We know you should have been got the Canelo Alvarez fight. We already know that. But don't say this was a washed up version of Canelo Alvarez, because you would have accepted this same fight and wanted all the credit.
Bud was brave enough to do something that no one else would. Gain 21 pounds and face a man that everyone else was scared of. I'm okay with David dropping to 168 for Crawford if that's what he really wants to do. That's brave of you. But let's not act like Crawford didn't completely change the rules of boxing until that bell rings. Bud made history, whether you like him or not. He was only being opportunistic because he had perfect timing, which made everyone else look like they didn't matter.
So you would have fought the same version of Canelo Alvarez and expected all the credit in the world. So you can't discredit Terrence Crawford and say his fight and beating him was opportunist.
We thought the Bud versus Benavidez story was getting interesting, but now there's a whole new twist. Bud's team says he wants $100 million for his next fight. That's right, you heard that right. $100 million. It's not a bag, bro. That looks like a Powerball dream. Even though we all love Bud, he might have to fight Thanos now if that's the price. Who will sign that check if Turki Al-Sheikh doesn't start making money in Riyadh?
I'm going to start off with what Bernie of Team Crawford said, right? He says, quote, "I think Terrence Crawford is done if it ain't $100 million to go down and fight those guys like Janabek, Erislandy Lara, and Carlos Adames. Let them guys do all the hard work." $100 million? What you think you got? Kelsey Grammer? Chelsea Clinton?
But let's be honest. This move shows that I'm good at fighting. Now pay me like a star. I get it. Canelo was just cooked by Crawford. He looked like he was buffering in 4K. So it makes sense that he feels safe. However, it's not boxing when names like Janbek and Carlos Adams are thrown around for $100 million. That is the paid fantasy game. But you should still respect their trust. Bud adds, "If I'm stepping in that ring again, I'm getting generational money or I'm chilling with generational wealth. I can't be mad about it, to be honest. He has earned it. He did what he had to do. It's now up to the fighting community to decide if they can pay for it."
So now, I'm not mad at it. Crawford's team, they want $100 mil. Crawford needs $100 mil to perform or to get back in the ring, or he might retire. Then, in my opinion, if that is your real asking price, you might have to retire, because no one needs to see a Canelo rematch and fights like Lara, Janabek, and Adama.
So, soon after dropping the "I want $100 million" bomb, Crawford told a full story about how the idea for Canelo came about. This part is also crazy, buddy. As it turned out, it wasn't just a rush to get money. It was Haney Bill. It was Devin's dad who first brought up Canelo before Crawford even fought Spence. Picture yourself at the gym. Bill just walks up to him and says, "Forget Spence, buddy. Go after Canelo." And Bud thinks, "Wow, that guy's big." He looks at her again and says, "Hold up. We're both the same height." That's when the light turns off.
Hold on, bro. For real? I thought this was after.
No, this is before.
Crawford Spence won.
He said, "Man, don't even stop chasing Errol Spence." He was like, "Man, the guy to focus and chase is Canelo."
Really?
He was like, "Man, you can beat him." He was like, "Man, Spence, Canelo. And like every time I see him, he'd be like, Canelo.
And to be honest, that's what makes Bud beautiful. He doesn't leave his ego, but his beliefs. The guy looked at Canelo's game like it was homework for a thesis on the title. It was clear that Bill Haney's talk made him feel better. Bud pretty much said, "Cool, then don't say my name. I am the ticket now," when Canelo's people said that Crawford doesn't sell. Bud always talks like that. Now calm down. But the soft tone makes it sound like someone will be cooked later.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, we the same height, around the same size. Like, he a little thicker, okay. I'm starting to look into it now because he already planted the seed, but now I'm like looking into it. Like, let me see what Bill look at now, what he see. So I'm, okay. This is what he talking about. Cause he like, man, he's not a big dude. He just kept saying he's not a big dude and you can beat him. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, damn, Bill right. Yeah.
Were you already sure the Canelo idea was crazy? Wait until you hear what really happened. Bud is in Saudi Arabia having 9-hour talks while sitting in a back room and acting like he's trying to get into a secret boss level in a video game. That man said he was by himself, and people were texting, calling, and talking in another language around him. He said he was just thinking, I just want to talk to Turkey. He couldn't, though, because Turkey is his friend and might be easy on him. Imagine that you were too nice to make your own deal. I knew he wasn't like other warriors at that point. This man runs his own business like he's the CEO of Team Crawford Enterprises. Bud stuck to his ground for 9 hours, without a lawyer or mediator, until both sides looked like they were half happy and half sad when they left.
They brought me in there, then we went to the little back room, and we was there for like 9 hours, going back and forth.
Dang.
You know, they not budging, I'm not budging. I'm in that mug like this. I'm like,
By yourself.
by myself. And they like, and they calling Turkey. He's not. they talking in their language and texting, and we going back and forth.
You'll know it's real at that point. He also said that deal wasn't what they or I wanted, but it had to be done. You could really feel the chess piece move. Okay, so this guy did more than just set up a fight. He also made sure there was a legacy clause. People who say Crawford did it for money should stop. Bud really did ask, who is fighting for free? He's right, too. We wouldn't come to work just to get attention, so why should he? The person has been told not to sell and has been blackballed. Still, he's negotiating on a different world, going after fame as if it were his rent. You need to honor that. Bud isn't just fighting other people anymore. He is fighting against stories, systems, and time itself. And he keeps winning round after round.
You gotta get the deal done. You know what I mean? Like, you can see Turkey when you get the deal done. And I'm like, oh man, listen. Y'all talk about ain't making sense. You know
Did you have a number though?
Yeah.
Or you kind of had a number like, I want to be in this range,
yeah,
right here.
I had a number and it was just like, they like, man, listen, we gonna have to talk. so we all in that motherfucker for like, you know what I mean? 9 hours, dog.
9 hours, bro.
I'm telling you. I'm Straight.
That's the crazy part, right? There is more to Crawford versus Benavidez than meets the eye. In the new age of boxing, it's a full-on power play. Legacy versus youth, brains versus violence, and a lot of pride are all on the line. These two guys are both going after the next rock, whether it's 168 or 175. But now for the real question. Who wants it more? After beating Canelo, is Bud still hungry? Or is Benavidez ready to show that he's more than just the person who missed the call? No matter what, everyone is looking, and if Turkey Alalshik writes the royal check, the game is on. I'm going to throw it to you. Who is the winner? Who is it? The expert or the monster? Feel free to write your thoughts in the space below. Allow us to begin this fight. Don't forget to like, share, and follow Boxing Motive. You will soon be getting more fire. We'll see you next time.